Hey everyone, fWhip here, and welcome on back to the hardcore Minecraft world. Today we're back in the village because, folks, it is the world tour and download day. I'm so very excited about this one. We've got a lot of work to do today before we get to that part of it, so my friends, let's get this thing started. This is the last episode we did come through here and work on this butcher shop, which I absolutely love. We've got a few piggies hanging out down here, and we've actually got to start transporting some butcher villagers back into these spots, and I figured we could just have them kind of stowed away right back in here. We can have one, we can have a second one right in here, and we just need to put some smokers in front so we can start trading with them, and we can have a third one over here. I don't know what I'm really going to be using the butchers for too much, and it looks like we need to have a little something right up there as well, so we'll just do the cobblestone for now. But I don't know if I'm going to be trading with butchers too much. I know they can give sweet berries for emeralds, but we don't really need an emerald trade right now. We'll get those things in here very shortly. On top of that, I would love to build a villager house up here so we can have a few villagers roaming free throughout the village. So we've got a lot of work to get going on this one, but as I mentioned, I'm super excited. I figured to get ourselves started, we could work on the little village house. Let's give a little bit of a rundown of the resources we have, and I think we'll be able to make a pretty cool house design out of this one. Might have to go with an oak door here instead of the others that we typically do. As it's the world tour and download day, I did want to mention to you all, I mentioned in the last episode, but I want to mention it here as well. If you'd like to get your hands on the download, it is going to be available to everybody who is a current supporter over on the Patreon page, a Twitch subscriber, or a YouTube member. I think in order to mix up the back over here, we're not going to do that same pattern with having the middle log right in there. Instead, what I want to do is we could have it come out just a touch here and do something right like this. I'm thinking we could have some cobblestone being here in the lower section because I think that could be kind of cool. And then from there, we actually are going to start doing some stripped oak log. I feel like that'd be fun to just mix things up from having the old oak planks that we have everywhere else. Now, it might look a little weird, but I think we can turn it into something pretty cool. This is going to be an interesting one just with the way the floor is going to work and having everything and the ground being on multiple layers, but I think we can get something pretty cool here. So what I had on this point right here was I think something like that, and maybe we can have these ones just coming back in here. Then the door is going to be sitting on that path block. A little bit of an interesting looking house so far in this section, but I think it's all right. I'm thinking we can do one roof coming up here, one roof coming up right in there, and then on this back side, we can have it just being the one central one, being this section right here with the dark oak one sticking out that should be able to set up the good door frame on the back there. And now I think I just got to take a little bit of time of clearing the land out so we know what we're working with here and we can get a floor in place. At least a way to divide between the two floors would be probably pretty good to have. This one over here is probably not going to be the nicest of homes for the villagers, but I think they probably had worse in the past. We do lock a lot of them in little boxes so we can trade with them, so it'll be fine leaving them in here, right? Yeah, totally. Yep, this is all good. Somehow in all of these chests I have no cobblestone out of what I brought in my inventory, so we need to actually craft a few things here. I feel like I usually have a full chest full of that stuff, but today, not so much. I'm thinking for the floor down here, just so it has a little bit of a warmer color to it, so when everybody's coming inside, it just feels a little bit nicer, you know? We don't want to feel too cold and dry when everything outside is going to be very, very cold as well. So we're going to throw some jungle planks in down here. I think it could work out pretty well. As always, trying to find a way to make the floor more interesting, we're going to do some full blocks, and then we're going to do 2 layers here of slabs, and then we'll do some full blocks again. To me, this makes it feel like there's a little bit of more of a support into the floor itself instead of just being something very flat. Has a little bit more interest to it, and just a little bit more fun all the way around. Looks like up here we need to bring the walls up a few more blocks so that they have some more interest to them, and we actually have some walls for the second floor itself, so I'm going to bring all of these ones up. I think 2 more for now, and then we'll work on the roof designs and be able to have something like that to break it up even further. I've got the walls in and a little bit of a pathway built out here as well, and it's looking quite cool. I like it a lot. Now we just got to jump on top and make a bunch of spruce stairs and things so we can keep with that same roof style we've got going around here. I think on this front side, we're just going to go with some stairs going all the way up to the top here and not worry about doing that little pattern that we normally do of the slabs and then the full blocks because it's so small in here. But what we can do is do that on that side over there, and I think that'll give us a cool bit of interest. So we can have some stairs and then a stair, and maybe we just do a little stair sticking out there to keep out with that same sticky outy bit that we normally do. And then this side is where it's going to be fun. So we can start doing this, and then I think on top we'll just throw in, nope, let's keep it consistent and do an oak log here as well, stripping that guy down. My inventory is an absolute mess as always. That's how you know you got a good build going on. And then over here we can start doing some spruce planks because that'll make it so this isn't too much taller than that side over there as well. Getting the hard part of the stairs in place over here, and then we bring in some of, actually, before I do that, I've got to do a little guy right in there, and then we do this, and then we can do full block, and these are going to be weird little diagonal roofs. It's all good, though. Unfortunately, we are going to connect over here. Nope, perfect. Yes, I love that they have priority going that way instead of anything else. That's so nice. But anyways, we've got the last little one right up here ready to go. That guy's sticking out, and we've got the stair in here. Now connecting this all up across the backside is going to be kind of interesting. It looks a little weird here, and I think the tree in this corner is going to help break it up a lot. That's kind of what that leaf pillar there means, but I don't hate it. I think it's kind of fun. We can also cram in a small window right in there, and we can definitely throw a small one in right here as well. But let's sleep before the creepers come. This side is still looking pretty rough over here, but the rest of the house I actually like a lot. I think it turned out quite well over here. I'll tell y'all what though, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time detailing this one out here, getting some more work done on it, and probably get the interior of this and get everything else moved over, because I realized this took a little bit longer to build than I thought it would. So let me get these two guys fully finished up, and I think it's moving on to the world tour time. Man, I love this village. This village has turned out so nice. Welcome to the village of fishermen villagers. Fisher village? Fish village? I don't really know what it's called, but it's been quite a while since we last spoke, my friends. The interior of the butcher shop now has stuff in it, including our butchers are in place. They're looking fantastic back here. We've got a little bit of pork on display there to be bought and purchased. And it's so very nice. And all the barrels outside of here have been taken up by a lot of villagers that I've released into the village, because this structure has 3 beds inside of it down here for them to live inside and sleep in there and do all their lovely living things and whatnot. And then up here as well has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more beds for us. And I really like it. I think all of these turned out pretty swell. I'm happy with how that house turned out. Also got the tree built up in here, and it was a lot of work. It was a lot of cool stuff going on. Spent a little bit of time working on the mountains on stream as well, and it's just all looking good, my friends. But at this point in time, you all came here for a world tour and a download of the hardcore world. So let's go ahead and get that tour part started. I'm going to try and do this a little bit of the format of how we went through the episodes and all of the different things that we've done, and see where it goes from there. I hope this is a fun one. I really hope you have enjoyed this one. If you have enjoyed the hardcore series so far, please be sure to click that like button down below. Would very much appreciate it. But anyways, inside of here we have our first starter house. While we were still on the server. If you're unfamiliar with this series, we actually started the series on a server. We were playing with Smallish Beans, we were playing with Dang That's a Long Name, Solidarity Gaming, as well as CPK. Everybody except myself and CPK died in the world being on hardcore mode, and so they're all gone. And then CPK and I were like, you know what, let's take a single player world so we don't have to deal with the lag. So anyways, this was the first house that we lived in. Lived up here with our first bed. We've got a lot of loot in there from all of just end raiding random things and stuff. The dragon head, all of that cool stuff. And then over here we have a spot for our horse Quicksilver, who is in fact terribly slow. Then we built up the bridge coming off this direction where we had our first near-death experience, second near-death experience, one of those two, where a creeper came and blew up on us. I was standing right on top of this trapdoor, right here. So it's just this high off the ground, and a creeper walked up and exploded right there. I ended up on 1.5 hearts. And if I was standing down here, I would have died and the series would have been over. So that was great. That was one of our run-ins. We have had a few run-ins with creepers exploding on us, but we came over here and before having any enchantments decided to build a stupidly large windmill, which I absolutely love because that led to the wheat fields. We got potato fields, we've got beetroot fields, the smallest of all fields. We've got a carrot field, and then inside of here we have a very cool spot to store all of our carrots, potatoes, beetroots, and everything. Then inside of here we have the interior to the wheat mill, where I had the first composter set up. So all the bone meal we got from extra seeds and things came through this point and did all the cool stuff in there, which was very nice to have. Haven't used it for quite a while, to be honest. I need a better form of bone meal gathering because I want to start using white dye for some things here soon, but it was good to get ourselves running. Then after that, we actually came way over here and spent a good while working on this side of the village. Came through here, and one thing I want to revisit is this fantasy aesthetic with these giant rock structures with crystals floating above them. I think was really cool. We added a bit of a billboard. Eventually a greenhouse came up over here to have some bees inside of it, a fishing dock for ourselves to live inside of and use to fish, and gather up some things for early game for cat taming and all that stuff. But coming back into here, we created a mine. This had my first water elevator that I built in the series. So down at the very far bottom, we can actually send items up through here, comes off in this direction, and actually are automatically sorted into these chests, which I've rated a good amount of because we now have a bigger, larger, better storage system. But it is quite cool going up and down this thing. I really love this functional entrance to the mine that's not just a water elevator or a drop chute going straight up and down. I really like using these minecart things nowadays. But that leads us down here to the gross underground that is an absolute mess of strip mining things going all over the place, all over there, and where the heck is it? Some way right down there, probably the big open point. We have a slime farm inside of this cobblestone box, which has been putting in the work. I came down here recently and added a few more double chests for ourselves to add more storage space to all of it, and it's been overflowing a lot. So you can see down here, we've got that one ready to go. This thing's almost completely full actually. And then that thing will probably be filled up here very soon, but it's been awesome to be able to have a slime farm, just being able to use all of these things for technical projects as we're going. That's something I've been really trying to do a lot of inside the hardcore world, is expanding my Minecraft knowledge and trying things that I'm not necessarily familiar with, and I've had a great time doing it. I'm just trying to go off my memory here of the order of projects that we did inside of this world, so if I'm a little off on this one, that's totally okay. I think we recently came over after that one and built up a villager breeder, which has been working like crazy, and there's many offspring of our villagers inside of here that will soon be populating this entire village. We've got a little bit of a market stall over here, which is just kind of a random thing that we done stream. Inside of this structure, which I think honestly is one of my favorite builds we've done the entire time. Let me know at the end of this tour, what was your favorite build that I've done inside of the hardcore world? What's been your favorite one so far? But inside of here, we have all of our librarians with all of our lovely trades. Like we have mending books for 1 emerald in 1 book. Absolutely amazing for hardcore. And we have the renditions of the old maps that we built. So here we can see the original one with our house in there. Actually, nothing else is really on that one. You can see the bridge going off that way, and then our windmill isn't even in there yet. We don't even have a windmill on that. Then coming over here, you can see the windmill was there. We have the Pokemon Ball villager breeding section right over there, and we now have the library. Then coming up into this area, we have the next rendition of it, which is a good guide for me able to see things that we're doing. So we went down that way, did some stuff there, so we headed off that direction next. And then we have the most recent one of the maps, I believe, has a lot of general stuff for the mountains. I will get this thing updated before the end of today's episode. I want to get another add-on here, which actually has the iron farm in there too. Look at that. Oh, that's sweet. The sun is setting and the tour will continue in the morning. For now, I spam right click. All right, back over by the windmill now. I think this is the time where I started doing some of these custom trees, which I absolutely love. So we've got the tall spruce trees, we've got the smaller oak trees, and it's just been so very fun. Over in this direction, the fields got expanded a heck of a lot. This one is actually back for the quote Halloween special of sorts. And sorry if there's some stomping. Neighbors are moving around upstairs. And down here, we've got an awesome melon and pumpkin farm, which does a lot of work for us. That is a different version of the one Ilmengo had created way back when. I kind of did my own tweaks to it. And all of the melons and pumpkins actually get funneled inside of these little silos. So we have all of the pumpkins appearing inside of here. We have all the melons appearing inside of there. Then coming into our little farmhouse over here, we have a bunch of farmer villagers, which I actually believe I need to do a little bit of repairing. I do. My elytra is pretty close to being dead. So all we got to do is run over here, say hello to this guy, thank you for the pumpkins, thank you for the melons, or take them and thank you for the emeralds, I should say. Trade a few more times with this guy here as well. And just like that, the elytra is repaired. I love it. We get emeralds forever and all my gear stays repaired. A fun way to move the villagers around that we have, taking this little tunnel down here and hitting our head quite a few many times, is I have started to create, I have been creating an underground network of tunnels and minecart systems that we can use to get all over the place. We'll dive into it down there later when we check out the storage room, but you can see it comes here underneath the river. And I just think it's so fun. It's such a unique way to move villagers around, and having a permanent network for ourselves to get around. If it's scary and dark and everything outside, we can use this to safely get back to our house as well. Moving on, however, I wanted to create a cool field area that we could have all of our nether wart in, so we got that. Then I add some more wheat field action over here to make it a little bit more interesting looking. And moving down this direction, we've got our cow farm right over in here. Move those guys out from behind the house so they could have a little bit more breathing room for themselves. The chicken coop is over on this area, which we haven't done too much work on filling it up quite yet. not too many eggs inside of here. So how many chickens can we get off of this? Only one. Oh, nope, two. We got 2 chickens off of that, and they really want to get inside there with their friends. Okay, well, eventually this will be full of chickens if I remember to actually check it every once in a while. Back here, however, we do have the sheep farm where we've got some cyan sheep as well as some white sheep, and just have been shearing them as we need. We do have an auto sheep farm now, which is very nice. Over in this area, we've got the piggies hanging out in their little pig pen. Coming back this way is another wooden bridge for ourselves, stretching off to the distance. That's kind of the edge of the village. We've got the farmland kind of leading out to the village edge. Then that brings ourselves all the way down here where I decided to just take a break from the village and do something right off the edge of it, of building up a small tent for a knight to be living in. So we've got the knight living inside of here. His squire can be over in this little point. And I just thought it was a fun ad to come over here and take a big break from everything else we had done, do a little bit of terraforming throughout the area, and just have fun with something new. I've really been redefining how I play Minecraft through this series and just enjoying doing different things inside of the game. I found myself always being like, no, I have to build something big and amazing. I have to build something super cool. Always have to be pushing the limits of going bigger and better and just more amazing and all those things. And this series here, I've really forced myself to take a step back and just enjoy being in a world, enjoying playing Minecraft and having the process of playing Minecraft, and I have absolutely loved it, and it seems like you all have loved it as well, so I'm really happy to kind of redefine that for myself. Moving over here to the bigger and better and grander things is I built this sugarcane farm. If we jump on inside, still don't have a way to get down to the storage area for it, but if we flip that lever, we will see a flying machine flying off this area, chopping down all of the sugarcane for ourselves. And I think it's awesome. It's so nice. You'll see that stuff disappearing down there as some hopper minecarts run underneath as well to automatically collect it. And we could leave this thing running forever and just get so much sugarcane. For this house to feel a little bit more like a sugarcane hut as well, I added this small pond over here with sugarcane around the edge, a nice little seating area for ourselves to look out over what is now our mountains. This has been a project that has largely been going on streams and everything like that because it's easier to do those larger grindy projects over there. But I've had so much fun working on them, and it's been an absolute blast so far of something that's not quite finished up yet, but it's getting there. It's something that's going to be probably finished up in the next month and a half of just slowly chipping away at it here and there, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. We'll check that out more in depth here later. I just kind of want to point it because, you know, we're staring at it. Anyways, inside of here we have our bees, which hang out inside of there. Really need to get a better system for this because obviously I don't have much honey or honeycomb, and I really like building with that stuff. Next up, let's run over here into the village center that we have and jump on down underground. Recently installed this vault door here to get ourselves down into that railroad system, which actually the villager breeder that we checked out before comes all the way down here. When we want a villager to, they plop right in this section. We can have our attacking zombie jump up right there. He'll convert them. Then we can convert the villager back to whatever else we want, or unzombify it and get some amazing trades. Move them off in different directions, like to the library up in there. This goes into the new butcher shop. This one right here goes up into the toolsmith area, which is a little dangerous right now. They all got re-zombified. It's okay. We'll check on them soon. Then down in this direction, we're actually leaded into the storage room that we have. One thing I want to do is get some creepers inside of these boxes here. I think that would be so fun to name tag some creepers and throw them inside of those places. But we've got this awesome entrance into the storage room, which is so very cool. Love it so very much, and we really upgraded our storage system from about 6 double chests to everything you're seeing here. Also inside of the floor, it's going to be very faint to see, but you can see written almost in amber, as people have called it. We have fWhip written down there, and I love that. Using the glass effects just makes something extremely subtle that's hard to see, but it just has a cool word down in there, being my name. But this is all completely built out with auto sorters and stuff going all the way around. So if we come back into here, this will always be holding dirt, and this one's also dirt, so it's all in there currently. Well, we've got stones, dirts, logs, planks, nethery stuff, sands, we got leaves, we got glass, we got saplings, random blocks, and then our richides, and that's all more junk stuff that is not sorted automatically. It was a very fun build to do, but it did take quite a while to get everything done in there, and I had an absolute blast doing it. I'm really happy that we set up a big time storage room, and I think it really helped me get a lot of these larger projects ready to go. I should close this door though before one of our villagers falls inside of it. That all being said though, what else are we looking at? Right, the toolsmith area. I'm over here trying to remember everything that we've done. So we got the toolsmiths in this section. They're looking awesome over here. We've got a forge in here where we can upgrade our netherite gear at. Very cool little blacksmith setup for ourselves. and the toolsmiths, they bite a little bit. They're in here and they bite. Leaving them alone. After that is about when the mountains started working on and having a lot of stuff done. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is our enchanting setup that we have. Want to do something different about instead of just throwing it in a corner. So we made a floating bookshelf enchanting, hanging bookshelves with a floating enchanting table room in here on top of a bunch of black stained glass. And I think it looks absolutely awesome. It's so ominous and dark and just feels different compared to the usual enchanting setups. And I love it. It was so fun to do. And that is tucked away inside of our mountains. And if we dip off over to this end right down here, we can actually lead ourselves into our secret dwarven cavern that we're going to be working on here soon, and biting our butt there on the door a little bit, coming on inside to this pathway. We're just going off order here. We've got a snow farm built down in this section where we can get all of the snow we need from Romeo and Juliet over there. All of it pops out into that point. Then the tunnel leads up into an uncompleted point down that way, which will lead into where our eventual stuff is. What is down this way, however, is the bottom side of the mountains, and it's going to be a large dwarven area inside of here. Super excited for it. So we've got some technical stuff going on up here with a sheep farm built up that way, and then we have an iron farm that Joel is currently living inside of and producing a bunch of iron for us. He did die in the world, but we brought Zombie Joel back to help us out. Now for this world tour, I'm not going to go check out any of their older bases or anything like that, but if you do want to download the world and check it out and you get the download, their bases will still be in here. You just got to go find them for yourselves. If you would like the coordinates, they are on the screen right now of where my base is, as well as let's go ahead and throw the seed in chat right there. Get rid of the F3. There's the seed for you if you'd like to play on the world yourself. You're more than welcome to. I've absolutely loved it. We have an absolutely amazing location back here. We've got a few more structures to build up, but we've also got plenty more things to take a look at. There is a creeper farm underneath the mountains as well. It's kind of hard to show off, but there is one underneath there. And then over in this area, we've got the quarry, which is so very fun. I love this place. Inside of here, we have, oh, excuse me, please, sir, rude. He wouldn't let me inside. But anyways, back here we have the stonemason villagers where we're getting a lot of our terracottas and everything like that from, and it's absolutely awesome. How do I get out of here? You're not gonna let me out. There we go. Now he's outside. Go find your bed, buddy. Just go away. I'm gonna really regret leaving villagers out in this place, aren't I? I'm gonna really regret that here soon. But anyways, inside of the quarry we have, or inside of the storage warehouse, we have a bunch of chests full of cobblestone because we built an automatic cobblestone generator in the bottom of a quarry. I wanted to use a bunch of TNT to explode this place, thought it'd be super fun, and blew it all up down here, all to include a small little build back here in the corner being a automatic TNT generator that I'm calling the egg. I think I spent more stone building the quarry than I have in... What you doing, buddy? You look like you're in a little bit of a precarious position down there. I'm sorry. One of our quarry workers seems to be stuck in the quarry. I don't really know how to get you out down there, bud. I'm really sorry. Let me try and throw you a carrot, okay? I missed. I'm sorry. Good luck to you, though. Yep, you're doing great. Up here, moving on, folks, we have an awesome, what was this called? A lift of sorts? I don't really know. I blank on the word for this thing all the time. Maybe we could use that to get him out of there. I don't know. He's hanging down there for now. We've also got an awesome stables area inside of here with a donkey. We've got a mule, reverse of those guys. And then we're going to throw a horse in here, but I don't think I ever got around to it. And still got to work on the upstairs location of that one. Moving off this direction, however, I started working on a forest pathway actually in the last episode. That was really fun to work on because down this direction, we have a bamboo farm, which is going to lead for a future super smelter. I really want to get a lot of technical stuff done here soon so we can start doing some big crazy projects with lots of glass and not worrying about smelting it too much or anything like that. So for now, all we gotta do is come back over here and flip this stuff down and hopefully it doesn't lag too much. But as you can see, it makes a lot of bamboo for ourselves, and these guys will be coming all the way back down here and pausing on this end, and it's pretty great. A lot of stuff is gathered through this, and we can use that fuel to smelt so many resources later on. Taking an aerial view here of the mountains, y'all can see a little bit more about what we've done. Working on the backside as well. It's something that I'm going to consistently be working on and moving forwards with, but we've got this pathway over here that leads off into this direction where I've been doing a lot of work farming woods and everything, and eventually we are going to have a large dwarven gate into the mountainside. I'm so very excited about it. What is going on in there? I don't know. Let's go in the Nether. We're inside of the Nether now. We have broken through the ceiling and got out to the roof of it all, breaking through the bedrock using some special techniques by Raiseworks. And we got up here and built this amazing gold farm, which I believe is a Logical Geek Boy design. Inside of here, I have a fWhip designed basalt generator, which really sucks. We're going to rebuild that one here soon with an actual design, but that can bring us down into our Nether hub, which is so fun. I want to come back in here and work on this project a little bit more. Kind of cleaned out this base area and had plans to put pockets in these corners, one for like piglin trading, one for a honey farm, and one for, I don't really know what else, other types of farms that we might need in the Nether. But I thought this Nether portal in here was a really cool design of building it built into the mushrooms. We're gonna have these large hallways leading off in different directions as we need to get tunnels going elsewhere. The original Nether portal we have is right over here, and I would like to change this one up a bit further and add some more detail to it. I'm not sure how I want to do that yet. I almost want to connect it in with the mountain somehow of this area. Maybe we're going to build a cave system for them to be inside. Who really knows? But I'm really bummed that they just sit and exist at that upper point right now. One thing I did want to mention on the mountains, however, is I did get a fix for the waterfalls. I know I'd asked that a while ago, and we had figured out on streams that we can actually use waterlogged glass panes. So we have the blue one in here and we have the light blue one. The light blue looks very similar to the ice color-wise. So it actually works out really well, making it look like there's tiny bits of ice floating down here. Then the blue one, once you get farther enough away, tip for you all over here, if you would like to and make deeper like rivers, is you can't even tell there's blue in there. You can barely tell there's a blue. Obviously, you can tell there's blue in there. You can't tell there's blue stained glass inside of that place, which I love. I think it's so awesome. I've had so much fun working on this world, doing all this stuff, and I'm amazed that we've survived this long inside of the hardcore world. We've done everything from fighting the Wither to fighting the Ender Dragon to fighting all the other things and building this insane base over here. 25 episodes. And this actually comes to, I think, 2.5, almost 3 months of working on this world. But that is going to have to do it for me today, folks. I believe we touched on everything. I'm sorry if I missed anything down there. I think we actually missed the inn, which is right above my head. But, you know, we walked through that area enough. So thank you all so very much for watching. Click that like button down below if you have enjoyed the hardcore series. Let me know any ideas you have for new stuff that we can do in the series here later on. And with that, my friends, I will catch you on the flip side. And make sure you subscribe.